Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Today we have Rolf Gerritsen, CEO of MetalNRG, an investment company focused on the natural resources sector. Good day, Rolf. How are you?
Very well, Rod. How are you?
I'm good as always. You released an RNS recently about the annual report and the AGM. Do you think you can give us a bit of an update on that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's really process more than anything else. With the relisting of MetalNRG from the NEX market onto the main London Stock Exchange, we had at a certain point to reissue our accounts because whole series of regulations, but they can't be older than 6 months when you submit your prospectus. Those accounts were in the prospectus and used for the prospectus. Now we have to go through the formal AGM process of presenting those accounts. So it's very much a standard process. I think what's more interesting, as a company, we've now matured from an NEX market, which was very supportive, very positive for us where we were, to a much more mature market, being the London main market, and giving us a different platform to operate on. And I think that's an achievement that, while it took us a bit longer to get there, we did get there in the end. And I'm actually very pleased for our shareholders that we managed to pull it off, because it does give them some further liquidity input that they can benefit from in terms of the investment that they've made in MetalNRG, which frankly hasn't gone very well in the last few months, but I think it now has a platform to enable us to drive forward and drive forward quite rapidly.
Yes, I'm sure the shareholders will be happy with the relisting. How about getting some updates? Let's start with Goldridge. Can we get an update there?
Yes, absolutely. We've been flat out on Goldridge in terms of planning the next step. The next step is to go out next week on a planned site visit. It's more than a site visit. It's actually going in to carry out some very specific work. There is a belief, based on all of the historical data that we've been looking at and all of the historical maps that we have access to, that there are a number of dumps within the underground mine that have a high level of ore content. The idea that we're going out to test is, in the short term, what can we do to extract that and turn it into revenue? There is a belief that there is a certain amount. I won't go into the amount because it's speculative, but it's an interesting amount of money that we can generate from these dumps. The questions that we have to answer is, one, what needs to be done to access those dumps, and how much will that cost, and what is the time frame to achieve that? That's the first question that will be answered by the site visit that we're carrying out next week. The second belief is that there are relatively low-hanging fruit areas that we can access in a relatively short period of time. And again, the questions that need to be answered is, what needs to be done to access those, how much will it cost, and what's the time frame associated with it? The third point that is going to be tested during the site visit is, what is the long-term development plan for us to reestablish contact with the actual vein that has been lost? So the history of this mine is that it's been narrow vein mining. Due to a shift in the ground at the bottom of level 6 of the mine, the contact with that particular vein has been lost. So the geologists tell me that they are quite confident that the vein does go on in depth, and we now need to find out what is the best way for us to find exactly where that vein is, and then determine a longer term plan to turn it into a sustainable mining operation. So those are the three key areas that we'll be looking at. and assessing on the site visit, which will occur on the 14th of August till the 19th of August. And then we'll work through all of the material that comes out. And by early September, we'll be in a position to make a further announcement. But I'm very excited about that because I believe that there are three options here that we can pursue, each leading to some generative cash input to the company.
Okay, it's plenty of questions and plenty of answers to come then. How about the Palomino project? Can you give us an update there?
Look, Palomino, very early exploration. We have an opportunity here to explore and really ride the tail of what's happening within the area in general. There's quite a lot going on in the area. Novo is one of the key companies that have been driving a lot of news release. Our commitment in the area is to spend 28,000 Australian dollars by the end of February next year. We are putting in place the plans to do so, and it's a long shot. It's let's see where it takes us. Who knows? But it's an opportunity. We'll definitely spend the money, and there will definitely be some sort of a news flow. It's opportunistic, as I said, and we'll see where it takes us. But again, it offers potential upside, but I'm again not here to speculate what that might be.
Fair enough. And before we let you go, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't ask if there's any other deals on the table.
Look, there are deals that we're evaluating on an ongoing basis. There's a few interesting ones that I'm looking at, and I'm actively pursuing something with nothing definite. But we are very open and actively looking for and currently engaged in various conversations that will lead somewhere. I would expect by no later than late November.
That's good to hear. All right, thanks, Rolf, for taking the time. And as always, we look forward to hearing again from you in the future.
Look forward to it, and I hope to be coming back to you with some good results out of the work we're going to carry out in Goldridge. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.